Hi, I'm Mary Wilson. Now don't you go anywhere because Profiles is coming right up.
Welcome to Profiles. I'm Marley Hall. Today's guest is Rock and Roll Hall of Famer and co-founder of the Supremes, Mary Wilson. One of the music industry's most prolific and successful performers, Mary Wilson is currently celebrating 40 years in the music industry. After a short break, we'll join our host Mickey Burns as he welcomes the beautiful Mary Wilson to Profiles. Welcome back to Profiles. Back in the 60s, today's guest, Mary Wilson, along with Florence, Ballard, and Diana Ross, became the Supremes, the most successful female vocal group of all time. The Supremes charted 12 #1 hits and an incredible 33 top 40 hits by the time they disbanded in 1977, setting the precedent for supergroup success. So let's join our host, Mickey Burns, as he welcomes singer Mary Wilson to Profiles.
Mary Wilson, welcome to our show Profiles.
Thanks.
Rock and Roll Hall of Famer.
Oh, wow.
And many other things, yeah. Also author, lecturer, actress, and of course best known for singing.
My oohs and my ahs and my babies.
You've done that extraordinarily well. Currently getting ready for a 2-week engagement beginning June 19th at Feinstein's at the Regency here in the Big Apple.
Yes.
Are you looking forward to this?
Big time.
I bet.
It was almost like, the first time we went to the Apollo. Yes.
Liz Smith said regarding your appearance there, Mary Wilson is an iconic figure in pop music, and it will be good to see her alone at the microphone doing it her way.
Well, she said her way. The name that I gave the show was Up Close with Mary Wilson. And you know what? I called it that. I wrote the show, produced it all myself, because I have always done ballads since I was a kid. I mean, I grew up singing, Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, what will be, will be. So, anyway,
yes.
And how much is that dog? But anyway, having said that, I've always loved ballads. In fact, when we Supreme started singing, we were called the Primettes, and I would usually do the ballads. Florence would do the R&B, and Diane would do the pop. So I've just always sang ballads and always loved them. I would always break out in song, no matter where we were, but I never did it professionally. And so now, at the age of 63...
Well, let me tell you something.
I am...
you are still gorgeous at 63, so be proud.
Thank you. Oh, I am proud. That's why I say it. If I wasn't proud, I wouldn't say it. Trust me.
But
anyway, let's just finish this, because this is a very important point here that I've only just kind of gotten to myself. And that is, you go your entire life, you do what you do, and you make your money, and you work, and you do this, and you do this. And then before you know it, time has gone by, and you're still saying, I wish I had done this. I wish I had done. So one day I said, I was in my 50s, and I said, I've always done ballads. I would love just for people to know what I think I do well. I mean, I'm basically a excellent performer. I mean, I'm a great performer. Let's put it that way.
But you're not just a singer.
Singer. I may not really be a great singer at all. I mean, I sing, and I think I sing well.
Yes, you
but
do.
I am a great performer. That I know I can do well. But yet and still, I've never been able to really do what I feel I do best singing-wise. And so that's what this Up Close show is all about, is to see if people will like me professionally doing the ballads, because I love it. I mean, I just love ballads. I think that romance and all those kind of things are, really needed.
And you made a good point, and that is that you look at yourself first as a performer, a singer second.
Yes.
Nancy Wilson, the great singer.
Oh, she's my idol. Nancy's my idol.
And she once...
You're so late getting home from the office. Did you miss your train? Were you caught? No, don't bother to it. I just love Nancy.
And she did say that all great singers also need to be great actors.
Yes, I love her, and I love her philosophy about singing, and I love her singing, and hey.
We need to see more of her as well.
Yes, exactly. Well, we need more rooms like Feinstein's.
I agree.
Or is it Feinstein's?
Feinstein's, I think, would
Everyone
be, but
says
I think
that, but
either way it works.
You say potato, I say potato.
We know where
I'm
it
from
is.
Detroit. We say Detroit in Detroit. Oh, sorry.
Well, I want to get back to that in a minute. I want to talk a little bit about Detroit.
I'm going on and on and on
That's
here.
okay.
Sorry.
I just wanted to mention that you are, for our viewers out there, that you were one of the co-founders of the Supremes.
Yes.
And that you garnered an unequaled amount of #1 hits by a female group back in the 60s. But besides the Supremes being successful, it was their style and grammar that made you role models for millions of American girls. And I was just wondering, back then, were you aware that you had this responsibility?
Well, you know, let's look at socially what the world was like, and even more so what America was like in the 60s. In the 60s, socially, black was not beautiful. It was becoming beautiful.
We tend to forget that.
Yeah, and you know, I'm one of those who I grew up drinking out of the colored water fountains. I don't mean the water fountains was colored. I'm saying it had a sign that said for colored, for whites. That was what was going on socially. So for 3 little black girls in the 60s to dare to dream, it was like an impossible dream. And we did do that. Florence, Diane, and I did that. We made our dreams come true. I mean, they're doing movies about us, quote, loosely based movies.
Well, you know, dream
about the Supremes. But the point is that we did something that had almost nothing to do with singing. I mean, socially, you know, we were there in that movement, and we helped to change the face or the faces of black people to the world.
Sure.
So, you know, I really think that we contributed a lot to it. And so for us to make all those things happen, and that they're doing movies now saying not that it's about the Supremes, but...
Well, do you think the problem, I mean, with it is, you know, they're not giving credit where credit is due?
Yeah, I mean they're kind of taking, you know, they're giving, for me it's a bittersweet triumph because, you know, if I were not a Supreme, I would say the movie is great, and it really is. It really is. But because I'm a Supreme, and I would like for a movie to be done based upon my book, Dream Girl, My Life as a Supreme, the real story, or Motown. You know, Motown can do the movie, and I think that they will be. And once they do theirs, then I can perhaps do mine.
Sure. Because you mentioned that book. That book, I'll bring attention to it, which is Dream Girl, My Life as a Supreme, I believe, 1986.
Yes, it was a bestseller in 86.
It wasn't only a bestseller, it was the most successful rock and roll autobiography ever.
Oh, my goodness. And I wrote it. Oh, my goodness.
Were you surprised at that time, the success of that book?
I wasn't, and I'll tell you why. But it took a long time to sell it. I mean, to the publishers. They did not want the book. They said, you know, they wanted a book based on Diana Ross and that. And I'm like, well, this book is about the Supremes. Sure. And Diana Ross is one of the Supremes. So, I mean, it's about her as well. But it's about the Supremes. It's about 3 girls, 3 singers, 3 black singers. And so I had a hard time trying to get that book published. I really, really did. And they just didn't think they didn't think anybody was interested in the Supremes. I'm like, you know, we did a lot of first, Supremes did.
It reminds me of when they were trying to sell American Idol. You know, it was the same thing. Nobody was. They didn't think America was ready.
I won't get into that.
That's another story altogether. Are we ever going to see a Supremes reunion?
Are we? Ask
the
Diane.
public.
Ask Diane.
It's all up. Is it all up to her?
It's all up to her. If she decides that she would want to do that, we'll do it. I mean, I hate to say but I'm going to say this. But I have really done a lot to keep the Supremes sort of history alive.
Yes.
You know, and intact, and clean and brilliant. So I would love to do it, but they would have to pay me, you know, my third or more. If we did that, they can't come at me like they did before and try to just hire me as you know, as if I was never there. I was a Supreme. Right.
So it was about. I mean, the last.
It was about they didn't want to pay me.
They didn't want to pay you, and it was also there was some other things too.
No,
it was all about the money.
It was all about the money. They didn't want to pay me. So I mean,
because
how can you do that?
the group that did go out.
Well, it wasn't a group. It was Diane and 2 singers.
And it failed miserably.
Yeah, it was Diane and 2 singers.
And it didn't work.
Well, that wasn't a reunion. I mean, that could work if she was going on doing her own tour and hired 2 singers and want to say, I'm going to do a Supreme type show. That would work. I mean, she has every right to do that. But if you say reunion, then you got to have the people who were part of the history.
Absolutely.
Who made the history.